With us to talk about it is France 24 senior correspondent Cyril Payen. What's the latest we're hearing from Bamako?
Well, the footage we received from central Bamako in the Place de l'Indépendance, which is very key for demonstration, is really a show of force from the transitional government. It looks like tens of thousands for now, maybe more in the coming hours, of people have been responding to the call from Colonel Assimi Goïta, which is the Junta leader and the president of the transitional government, to demonstrate for the sovereignty, for the response to this huge wave of sanctions, as you were saying, from the ECOWAS on Monday and from the EU, calls from the United Nations too. These are just now in central Bamako, and we can see it's first. It looks like very much, and we can see some Russian flag, which is quite new.
Russia, which has sent military helicopters and is accused of also sending mercenaries.
The new gamer, of course, in the party, and so it looks very much as a referendum for the Colonel Assimi Goïta, but also a very anti-French policy, very much indeed now. It's quite clear in the streets of Bamako, Tombouctou, Kidal, main cities, in Mali, where it's quite, we're talking about tens of thousands of people. So it's a rejection of what is called an interference from France, which is already, we know, is very present on the ground with thousands of troops, with a huge and old military, anti-jihadist military operation. And today it's a rejection of from the sanctions, just because it started because there were two coups in the past 2 years, and it has been reminded to the junta that should organize some elections, which they say we'll do it, but we need a few years, which is unacceptable with regards to the international community.
Yeah, those were originally planned for next month. Instead, they're pushing it back by 4 years. Stay with us, Cyril, because we're going to hear the reaction to all of this from the French foreign minister. As Cyril was saying, France, which still has 4,800 troops in Mali, France, which swooped in back in 2013 to stop a jihadist insurgency. The foreign minister saying, as relations go from bad to worse between the junta and Paris, that they're ready to stay, but not at any price.
Nous sommes et nous voulons rester au Mali, mais pas à n'importe quel prix. Et nous sommes au Mali pour combattre le terrorisme et pas pour autre chose. Donc nous continuons à suivre la situation de très près et nous allons réunir, après la rencontre des ministres des Affaires étrangères du G5 Sahel que va initier le haut représentant, nous allons réunir la coalition internationale pour le Sahel, pour faire le point de la situation après les décisions prises par la CEDEAO à la suite de la volonté de la junte de ne pas mener la transition dans les délais qu'elle avait initialement prévus.
Now, at the start of the week, when the ECOWAS sanctions were first announced, we thought, okay, there'll be some kind of bargaining, negotiations, they can then have some wiggle room. But now, things have accelerated.
Very much. Both sides. It's very volatile, with the strong words from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Jean-Yves Le Drian, he was Minister of Defense when the military operation started 10 years ago. So he knows very much what he's talking about, and strong words again. And it looks like we are at a turning point in both sides. What are trying to do the Europeans, and to multilateralize, if I could say, to Europeanize this conflict, not to be bilateral, only putting the French and the Malian side by side. The problem is a turning point, and also it's not a good scenario for France, as France is trying to reshaping this military operation in Mali by downsizing the numbers of people on the ground, to try to find a new strategy which ultimately will be an exit from this long war. So it's a difficult time, and when you see the streets like this in Mali, it gives a lot of anxiety for people on the ground, and I'm sure in the Élysée Palace, Emmanuel Macron, the French president, is quite anxious about what's going on now.
And it is a European force now that's there. The numbers are small, but nonetheless, and we had the word this Friday that Sweden is pulling its forces out of Mali.
Well, again, it looks like it's a miscommunication from what we understand from the officials at the EU level now. The Swedish, the Estonians were about to leave to end their mandate soon in 2022. The problem in this very volatile situation, any word is have some importance. Any word can be used from the adversary or not. So the Swedish saying this morning we are leaving Takuba, which is the new Special Forces European force. It's a very bad symbol, bad word, even if it's not confirmed so far, or it's not a surprise. But again, we are in a war of words. It's a turning point, and so far we have no clue how it will be tomorrow or next week about in this very volatile situation.
All right. Many thanks for that, Cyril Payen. Plenty